Brad Williams, Excel primed. Here's another example. We're going to throw a new function. It's called the random between. What it does, it just picks a random number between rows. Here we have rows, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In rows, we have names. If we want a random row, just hit F9. See this? Notice it doesn't go any further than the rows, which we've identified by names 887. The parameter is B5 to B14. And this is just saying our rows between B5 and B14 start at 1 and then go up to any random number. Look here, random number, bottom and top number. An integer representing the lowest value of the range, and a top number, an integer representing the upper value of the range. So if we look at this, random between, we got the bottom number, which would be 1, and the top number, whatever, 1 to 10. We have the index, the names. Here are our names. That's the range. And all we're asking is, give us that row number. Here's the row number. Column number, you know, is a reference. And then the last argument is the column number. Because it's a random between, it's dynamic. And you can hit the F9 key and it changes. So John Carpel is where? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you look at random between, it says rows. And it says number 4. You look at Robert Rogan and you say, well, what's going on here? The row 4 and hit F9. Joe Vocal says 8. Don't try to match this example here with this random example where it shows number 2, because this is going to change and it's a random number. If you look at this row, it says row 2. And then you go, well, Dan Deaver is in row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a random number up here also. And if you try to match this Dan Deaver by going up here, hitting row number, what happens? You have to hit F9 in order to see that information. And what happens? It's going to change. We hit F9, it says number 2, which should say Alex Yameda. It's going to say Dan Deaver. When I hit F9, it recomputed, but it didn't recompute here. Can't match Chris Hutchinson with this because everything here is random. It's just a random number here. It's a random number there. I know it's a little confusing. This is the random function, and that's how it works. This is the index function using a random between and the rows function, just to give you an idea how the rows function works. If you want to just capture this, I'll just show you what it looks like. Rows, because we haven't touched on rows yet. Here's an explanation. We have an array and then we have an integer. There's a row function and then there's a rows function. Copy, escape. I'm just going to copy this here. Paste, equals. Here we have rows, names 887. So what it identifies is the array. That's all it does. And what it does is it counts the rows. That's why when we look at this example here, we have rows 1 and then rows, and then it will look at the number rows and it will say the array, a reference to a cell or a range of cells. And then it will go through and that's the array 1 through 10. As opposed to if we equals row, what are we referencing? We can go to right here, A5. That's row 5. And we can copy that down, copy down. See, it's just copying 5, 6, 7, 8. If you ever want, and we'll use this later, if we need to do a count, we'll go 10 minus, so we go rows minus row, control down. We need to put an absolute value in 10. So we want hit E12, F4, and copy this down, control down. The reason we do this is because if we need a row count and we need to reference the exact row, for example, we want number 5, but then we need an absolute number, 10. We're starting at row number 5, and we need to count down. That's how you do it. So you equals rows here minus row here gives us 5. And pull down. And if we copy that down, pull down, you can see we have a sequential number in descending order. Why is that important? We will address that when we get to the rows section. Brad Williams, Excel Prime.